The cereal aisle at Target was crowded for a Saturday afternoon. Weekend shoppers filled the space, families with kids, college students stocking up, elderly couples moving slowly with their carts. I was reaching for a box of granola, comparing prices between brands, when I felt hands shove hard against my back. Not an accidental bump. A deliberate, forceful push that sent me stumbling forward into a shopping cart someone had left in the middle of the aisle. The metal edge caught my ribs. Pain exploded through my chest as I fell, my knee slamming into the tile floor with a crack that made nearby shoppers gasp, my palms scraping against the rough surface trying to break my fall. The impact knocked the wind out of me completely. For several seconds, I couldn't breathe, couldn't think, could only register the white-hot pain radiating through my torso. "Look at her fall," my nephew Derek's voice, loud and delighted. "That's what you get." I looked up from the floor, vision blurry, to see my sister Vanessa standing 10 feet away with her 2 kids. Derek, 15, was laughing. His younger sister Maya, 12, had her phone out, recording. "Stay on the floor like trash," Maya said, still filming. "That's where you belong anyway." Several other shoppers had stopped, staring. An elderly woman moved toward me. "Are you okay? Should I call someone?" Vanessa finally moved, but not to help. She grabbed Maya's phone. "Put that away. We're leaving." She looked down at me, still on the ground, blood seeping through my torn jeans from my scraped knee. "Stop being dramatic, Andrea. You barely fell." Then she walked away, just turned and walked toward the checkout lanes with her kids trailing behind, leaving me bleeding on the floor surrounded by strangers. The elderly woman helped me up. A Target employee rushed over with a first aid kit. My hands were shaking as they cleaned the scrapes on my palms. My ribs screamed with every breath. My knee was already swelling. "We need to file an incident report," the employee said, looking worried. "Do you want us to call the police? We have cameras. We saw what happened." I thought about it. Pressing charges against my nephew, creating a police record, the family drama that would follow. "No," I said quietly, "just the incident report for my records." The employee looked disappointed but nodded. She helped me fill out the paperwork, included witness statements from 3 customers who'd seen Derek push me, gave me copies of everything. I limped to my car, drove myself to urgent care. Bruised ribs, sprained knee, deep tissue bruising on my hip. The doctor recommended follow-up with an orthopedist if the knee didn't improve. Total bill, $4,200, which my insurance would cover after my deductible. I went home, iced everything, and tried not to think about my sister watching her son assault me and walking away. Monday morning, I returned to work at Meridian Health Insurance, where I'd been a senior claims adjuster for 6 years. My supervisor, Karen, took one look at me limping and raised her eyebrows. "Rough weekend?" "Something like that." I didn't elaborate. I rarely talked about my family at work. It was easier that way. I'd worked my way up from entry-level claims processor to senior adjuster with decision authority on claims up to $200,000. It wasn't glamorous work, but it was important. I reviewed medical claims, determined coverage eligibility, approved or denied payments. People's financial lives often depended on my decisions. I was good at my job, fair but thorough. I followed policy to the letter, documented everything, never let personal feelings influence professional decisions. That's why, 2 weeks later, when a claim crossed my desk with Vanessa's name on it, I didn't flinch. I'd processed thousands of claims over the years. I knew how to separate personal feelings from professional responsibilities. Emergency appendectomy, hospital admission, surgery, 2 days post-op recovery. Total charges, $47,862. The surgeon's fee alone was $12,000. Anesthesia, operating room time, pharmacy charges, recovery room monitoring, all itemized in neat rows on my screen. I read through the claim carefully, following my standard review process. Checked her policy details, coverage limits, deductibles, coinsurance percentages. Everything appeared in order at first glance. The procedure was medically necessary, performed at an in-network facility, coded correctly. I should approve it, apply her deductible and coinsurance, process the payment, and move on to the next claim in my queue. But then I noticed something. The date of service was 6 days after the Target incident, and her insurance card on file showed a policy effective date that was wrong. The system showed her coverage starting 3 weeks before the appendectomy, but her employer's records indicated she'd been added to the plan only 2 days before her emergency. That meant there was a coverage gap, a period where she wasn't actually insured when she needed the surgery. I pulled up the employer's HR records. Vanessa worked for a marketing firm that offered insurance with a 30-day waiting period for new enrollments. She'd enrolled on the 5th, meaning her coverage didn't start until the 5th of the next month. Her appendectomy happened on the 28th. No coverage. The claim should be denied. But I knew what that meant. $47,000. Out of pocket. For Vanessa, who'd been complaining about money for years, who drove a leased BMW she could barely afford, who bought her kids designer clothes while telling me I should try harder to be successful. I sat with the file for 10 minutes. Professional ethics said I should check with her employer, verify the enrollment dates, maybe see if there was a retroactive coverage exception, give her a chance. Personal ethics remembered my sister watching me bleed on the floor and walking away. I opened the enrollment records. The dates were clear. She'd waited too long to enroll, missed the deadline, tried to add herself after finding out she needed surgery. Classic insurance fraud attempt, honestly, though probably not intentional. Just desperation and bad timing. I documented everything. Pulled the employer HR records, the enrollment forms, the policy waiting period language. Built an airtight file showing exactly why coverage didn't exist. Then I stamped the claim. Denied, no active coverage at time of service. The next claim was Derek's. Broken arm, emergency room visit, orthopedic surgery to set the bone with pins. $12,400. Same insurance policy. Same coverage gap. Denied. Maya's claim came through 3 days later. Wisdom teeth extraction, surgical removal of all 4 impacted teeth. $8,900. Denied. I processed each one according to policy, documented my reasoning, and moved them through the system. By the end of the week, Vanessa's family was facing $69,000 in medical debt. Karen stopped by my desk on Friday afternoon. "Hey, Andrea, I need you to handle a member complaint." Escalated to supervisor review. She handed me a file. Vanessa's name on top. Member claims her family's insurance claims were wrongly denied. Says there must be a mistake. She's demanding to speak with whoever processed them. Karen looked at me. "That was you, right?" "Yes." Claims were processed according to policy. No coverage existed at time of service due to enrollment timing. Member says she enrolled months ago. Member's employer records show she enrolled on June 5th. Policy has a 30-day waiting period. Her emergency surgery was June 28th. No coverage existed. I pulled up the documentation on my screen. Everything's here. Employer verification, policy language, enrollment forms with her signature. Karen reviewed the file, nodding slowly. "This is solid work. Good catch on the enrollment dates. A less thorough adjuster might have missed it. Just doing my job." Member is pretty upset. Left 3 voicemails demanding to talk to you personally. Should I have complaints handle it? I thought about Vanessa's voice on those messages. Probably angry. Probably demanding. Probably not used to being told no. "I'll handle it," I said. "If she calls again, transfer her to me." The call came Monday morning. "This is Andrea speaking. How can I help you?" "Andrea?" Vanessa's voice, sharp with disbelief. "What are you doing answering the phone at the insurance company?" "I work here. I'm a senior claims adjuster." Silence. Long, thick silence. "You work there?" "Yes, for 6 years." "You told Mom you worked in an office. You said you did paperwork." "I do paperwork. Medical claims paperwork. I process and adjudicate insurance claims." More silence. I could hear her breathing, putting pieces together. Did you process my claims?" "I process approximately 40 to 60 claims per day. If your claims came to my desk, then yes, I processed them." "They were denied. All of them." $69,000, Andrea. "We can't afford that. There has to be a mistake." "There's no mistake. Your coverage didn't exist at the time of service. You enrolled after the policy waiting period cutoff." "That's impossible. I enrolled months ago." "Your employer's HR records show enrollment on June 5th with a policy effective date of July 5th. Your medical services occurred between June 28th and July 2nd. No coverage existed." "But I thought, they said." Her voice cracked slightly. "Andrea, I need this coverage. We need it. Derek's surgery alone was $12,000. I can't pay that. You should review your enrollment paperwork and contact your employer's benefits coordinator to discuss timing and options." "Options? What options?" "The bills are already here. The hospital is demanding payment. I kept my voice steady, professional. You can request payment plans from your providers. Many hospitals offer financial assistance programs for patients without insurance coverage. Andrea. Her tone changed, became the older sister voice she used when she wanted something. The voice that used to convince me to do her homework, cover for her with our parents, lend her money she never repaid. Come on, you can fix this. You work there. You have access. Just approve the claims. Nobody will know. I can't approve claims for coverage that doesn't exist. That would be insurance fraud. You're doing this because of what happened at Target, because Derek pushed you. You're getting revenge. I'm doing this because it's my job to verify coverage and process claims according to policy. Every claim gets the same level of scrutiny regardless of who submitted it. My kids pushed you. It was an accident. Kids being stupid. You're being petty and vindictive over an accident. The incident report from Target indicates it was witnessed by multiple customers and captured on store cameras. The report describes a deliberate assault, not an accident. You kept the report? Of course I kept it. It's documentation of an injury that required medical treatment. So you are using it against us. You're denying our claims because you're mad. I'm denying your claims because you didn't have coverage when you received medical services. The Target incident is irrelevant to coverage determination. Then why did you mention it? You mentioned it first. I'm simply correcting your characterization of the event. I could hear her breathing getting faster, anger building. I want to talk to your supervisor. I'll transfer you to Karen Williams, claims supervisor. Please note that she's already reviewed these denials and confirmed they were processed correctly. Andrea, wait, please. We're family. Family doesn't walk away when her sister is bleeding on the floor. I said I was sorry about that. No, you didn't. You called me dramatic and left. I'm saying it now. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. Now please, just help us. Help your nephew. He's 15. He can't have medical debt at 15. Derek is listed on your insurance policy. His claims will be denied for the same reason as yours. No active coverage. If you're concerned about his financial future, you should have enrolled in your employer's insurance plan during the proper enrollment period. You're really going to do this? You're really going to let us drown in debt? I'm going to process claims according to policy and documentation. What you do with that information is your decision. She was quiet for a long moment. You've changed. No, I haven't. You just never bothered to know who I was. I transferred her to Karen and went back to my queue. 43 claims waiting. Real people with real problems needing real solutions. That afternoon, my phone showed 17 missed calls from Vanessa. 8 text messages ranging from apologies to threats to desperate pleas. 3 voicemails from my mother demanding I explain why I was destroying Vanessa's life. I blocked their numbers and kept working. Karen stopped by again before she left for the day. The member filed a formal appeal. It'll go to the appeals committee next week. The denial will stand. Documentation is clear. I know. I'd already told her that. Karen studied me. She mentioned you're related. She's my sister. Does that create a conflict of interest for you? No. I processed her claims the same way I process every claim, according to policy with complete documentation. Karen nodded slowly. Good. Because she's threatening to escalate this to corporate. Claim you have a personal vendetta. Let her. The file speaks for itself. 3 weeks later, the appeals committee upheld all 3 denials. Vanessa's family was officially responsible for $69,000 in medical debt. I heard through my mother that they'd set up payment plans with the hospital. 24 months at brutal interest rates. Vanessa had to sell her BMW and buy a used Honda. Derek was working part-time after school to help. Maya lost her iPhone. My mother called me cruel, said I should have helped, said family takes care of family. I didn't argue. Just asked her if she remembered who took me to urgent care after Target, who paid my medical bills, who checked on me to see if my ribs healed properly. She went quiet. That's what I thought, I said, and ended the call. 6 months later, I got promoted to claims manager. Bigger office, more authority, team of 12 adjusters reporting to me. I trained them all the same way. Process every claim fairly, follow policy exactly, document everything. Never let personal feelings cloud professional judgment. One of my adjusters asked me once why I was so strict about documentation. I thought about Derek's hands on my back, the tile floor, Vanessa walking away. Because falls have consequences, I said. And someone needs to make sure they're documented. She looked confused but nodded. I never explained. Some lessons you learn on grocery store floors. Some you learn behind claims processing desks. But they all teach the same thing. Actions have consequences, and eventually, everyone pays their bill.